Great news for Taurus people who want to take a break. This October, planets want you to do exactly that. Above all, take a break from making important decisions. Focus less on the serious and more on the insignificant. November is going to be a more decisive month, so feel free to use this October to catch up on the small stuff and on the pleasant stuff. I am Nadia, the astrologer for people who do not necessarily believe in astrology but like hearing their monthly horoscopes, and this is yours for October. We're starting with Mercury, the planet of information, communication, and moving around. It spends the first few days of October in Libra, which is your astrological area of day-to-day routine activities. It's what you routinely do for your work, for your health, or to take care of your dependents. So thanks to Mercury, the first days of October may be quite busy doing exactly that. Working, solving some issues related to health, scheduling, productivity, tech, or transportation. On the 6th of October, Mercury moves on and enters Scorpio, which in your horoscope rules the important one-on-one relationships, including romantic ones, but not limited to just that. Mercury will stay here until the 29th of October, and while it's here, it will be feeding you information about the important relationships in your life. It could be you literally just found something out, or you've had a talk, or you've realized that your own attitude has shifted and you're wondering how it may influence the relationship. Whatever the information you receive and whatever the questions you may be having, now is not the time to make decisions about the future of the important relationships in your life. So be curious, be inquisitive, but do not jump to conclusions and do not let anyone bully you into making a decision now. Take your time. The ability to resist the urge to decide or do something immediately, spontaneously, is one of your strengths. Use it. The full moon in Aries on the 7th of October is the one that you may just skip, not pay any attention to. Everything that happens in Aries is at least partly hidden from your ego, from the way you think about your life, and may be revealed to your unconscious mind if it has the resources to deal with it. So if you'd like to help this full moon have any sort of beneficial effect on you, make sure that your unconscious mind has the resources to spare, meaning that it's a good idea to get enough sleep, to not be too tired, to leave yourself some time to daydream, maybe interact with art that for some reason attracts you. So avoid overstimulating yourself or numbing yourself. If you want extra points, you may pay extra attention to your dreams on the night surrounding the 7th, but you don't need to. You don't need to put any conscious effort into it other than an effort needed to make sure you are sleeping reasonably well and have some time to daydream. Remember, these forecasts are for whole groups of people. They may be great for taking a quick sense of the mood, but often what matters more is how transits are interacting with your personal chart and what your progressions are doing, which are basically your unique roadmap of development. That's what I look at in private readings, and you can book one through the link above or in description. Back to your forecast. Now, your cosmic ruler, the planet Venus. She is starting October in Virgo, which is your area of joyful activities such as romance, creativity, parties, games, children as well, if they are a source of joy in your life right now. Venus will stay here until the 14th, so almost half the month, and you would be well advised to make the most of it. Bonus points if you are using some actual skills to have fun and enjoy life, or if you have standards when it comes to creating joy, if your standards are not slipping. So, for example, if you're going to concerts of musicians you truly admire, or you're fine-tuning your erotic skills and enjoying positive feedback, or if you're an artist who does their art, Jupiter in Cancer will support this Venus and supply it with ideas and opportunities to try things out. But Saturn, that's a limiting and strict planet, may dampen the mood a little bit. The way to deal with it successfully is to, first and foremost, do the work, put in some effort, and also maybe to prioritize the joys and pleasures that are more mature, age appropriate, like things that are not available to teenagers and that wouldn't vibe with a really young person. On the 14th, Venus moves into the next sign, which is Libra, and Libra rules your area of day-to-day labor, habits, work or health-related routines, as well as colleagues or people you hire to help you. From this area, Venus will be helping you to, make this routine day-to-day part of your life more attractive, calming, peaceful and pleasant. Basically, if after the 14th you will need to motivate yourself to do something that's good for you and to keep doing it on a more or less regular basis, make it pretty and pleasant. You know the drill. Dress up for work or sport. Splurge on new stationery or whatever you use to do your daily work. Hang out with pleasant colleagues, hire a yoga teacher or other sport or health related professional you are truly, genuinely pleased to see every time and you want to spend as much time as possible with them. Use perfume when doing routine things, or maybe even take pictures of yourself working attractively or working out. Venus loves such things. A quick note for early Taurus people born on the 20-something of April, your sun, and with it your narrative, the story you tell about yourself, as well as the main character of this story, so your self-image, are undergoing a deep transformation thanks to Pluto, the planet of deep transformation that's influencing you from Aquarius. It's an overarching theme. It started in 2024 for the earliest Taurus natives. It will last for a couple more years for them, after which Pluto will switch to the end of April, beginning of May born Taurus natives. I'm bringing it up now because on the 14th of October, this Pluto is ending its yearly retrograde phase and may start demanding change with more intensity. In real life terms, it may show up as a situation that would make it clear that you cannot go on as before, whatever that means. Maybe you see something that you previously preferred to not notice and you cannot unsee it. Or maybe your professional situation changes and you discover that you will need to say goodbye to your old work persona because it's not working in the new circumstances. Whatever it is, do not rush it. If you're going through a transformation, it's a big deal, but there is no rush. You cannot decide to be a new person now and expect all layers of your psyche to cooperate. Give yourself time and grace. Moving on, there's a new moon in Libra on the 21st of October, and this new moon carries some weight. Libra, again, rules your day-to-day life, the routines, the professional responsibilities, how you take care of health, etc. New moon here is generally an invitation to rethink and reinvent something in your routines. It could be as radical as learning a new trade to eventually switch careers, or as mundane as deciding to try to introduce a morning routine that will actually stick. New moon in Libra this year is a bit special because of the aspects it's making. One important one is an opposition to the asteroid Chiron. This one may motivate some of you to question your health routines. I'm not saying that this questioning is necessary or well grounded, so it may be a great idea to do a general checkup and discover something like a latent iron deficiency, not a prediction, just an example. But it may also be a side project that eats up your time and resources and gives no results. So try not to go crazy here. Another important aspect this new moon is making is to Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, scale, optimism, and opportunities. Jupiter would like to educate you, so if the new moon inspires you to learn some new skills, that may actually be an amazing idea. So the situation we're dealing with this fall is that the slow planets that have entered new exciting signs in spring, summer, announcing the beginning of a new dazzling era, are now one by one retrograding back into the old, slow, boring signs. Last month, Saturn retrograded from Aries back into Pisces, and on the 22nd of October, the nebulous planet Neptune does exactly the same. For you, Taurus, this is great news. This will somewhat slow down things in general, which will allow you to catch up a little, and in particular in areas of social connections and ideas you have about future. You will get a few 3.5 months to finalize something here that will serve as a foundation for you. For example, you may secure a membership in a professional community or a spiritual community, or access to the audience you'd like to be able to work with. You don't need to do this on the 22nd, but 3.5 months is not that long. So if you have social networking ambitions, it's best if you do invest into securing something like that. As for the visions for the future, here again, you have 3.5 months, and the result should be that by February you will have arrived to some vision of the future you're ready to work towards. A relatively important aspect covering most of this month is a hard aspect between the wise Jupiter and the healing Chiron. In your horoscope, they're not of paramount importance, but if you're currently researching something hidden and related to healing, or something that hurts and is hidden, this aspect may help your quest. Otherwise, do not pay it no mind. What may be very important, though, is what the planets Mars and Mercury will be doing in Scorpio. Scorpio rules your area of important one-on-one relationships, and so whatever is going on there is by definition important. There will be a new moon in Scorpio in November, so it's not the time to make any long-lasting plans yet. But it definitely is the time to be active in building and improving relationships. I'm talking about love, friendship, cooperation. I talked about what Mercury does here in the beginning of the forecast. There is a timestamp for that in the description. Basically, it makes you think and talk more. Mars here adds the sense of urgency and the desire to win, so passion. Starting on the 20th, they join forces and start forming beneficial, helpful aspects with other planets, and taken together, it means that the final 10 days of October is a fantastic time for you to be really active socially. Now, it may sound daunting, especially if you are an introvert or a person who hates small talk or superficial connections. Good news for you then, the planets that gently push you towards being more socially active all act from the water signs that favor depth, emotional connection, and intuition. Basically, connections that these planets will help you to create or maintain will be of such high quality that they would actually be able to nourish your soul. It can be something private, intimate, or a whole social group gathering. There is no limit on the number of participants, only on the quality of connection that should be soulful. You do not need to decide anything yet, but in the final 10 days of October, if you take time to really be with people and put your heart into doing that, that's the best thing you can do for yourself and for the important relationships in your life. I hope you enjoy this somewhat slower but more heartfelt and soulful October, Taurus.